Right. Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Cows Den podcast. I am Josh, and with me, as always, is Matt and Brian. Say what's up, guys.
Hello.
It's Brittany, bitch.
so, as usual,
See what you've done.
we talk about just pop culture, nerdy stuff, comics. Brian talks his French science stuff, and we're not doing anything crazy today. Just the same old type of stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it off today. I know I usually talk comics, but I am going to talk about real quick the Invincible show again. I've been bringing this up a lot lately. I finished the comic series, and I've been just obsessed with the show. The comic series, first of all, I'm sure I talked about this last episode, I think, but if you haven't read it, it's incredible. It's a superhero story like no other, and the show is doing really well at keeping the spirit of the comic alive while also changing the way that they're kind of going back and forth with a few things. But last night's episode, Matt said he's all caught up, and then I was like, "Oh, did you watch last night's episode?" He's all, "No." I was like, "You son of a bitch."
Hey, I just got done with the I didn't even finish the first whole episode, just the first quarter of it.
Oh my gosh, the
I'm
ending of the
sorry, I
first
was
episode.
busy watching Mortal fucking Kombat.
Yeah, well, that's true too. Mortal
I need
Kombat.
to check that out.
I'm gonna leave that for you to talk about, Max. I assume you're gonna be talking about that one. But I do have a few things to say about that as well. But yeah, Invincible, man, definitely check it out if you haven't yet. The show is doing a fantastic job at keeping the spirit of the comic alive while changing a few things here and there. Not really anything drastic yet. Nothing really crazy has changed yet, but just a few things here and there. Um, Man, in this past one, you see for one thing what robots got going on. If you guys know, Brian, I know you don't really know anything about it, but Matt, you can kind of tell that the robots kind of doing something in the background. Um, yeah, you can kind of see what's going on with that. It'll explain everything in this past episode. I don't want to spoil too much because you guys haven't seen it, but fantastic episode. And next week is going to be the final episode, so I'm sure I'm probably going to talk again about it. Um, yeah, definitely check it out if you haven't checked it out. It's fantastic. Definitely R-rated though. Don't bring the kids.
That's why I have such a hard time trying to watch it.
Yeah, yeah. So also I want to talk about for in terms of comics, the one comic, like not one comic, but there has been one comic that surprised me recently. I just kind of picked this up on a whim. I hadn't really heard anything about it. It's called Ultramega. It's from Image Skybound, which is Robert Kirkman's thing, Skybound. Um, it's over the top crazy kaiju fights. It's like Ultraman but R rated. Like and I'm talking so the idea is that this guy gets this cosmic being shows up, gives this tells this guy he's going to give him powers, and he says he's giving him powers because there's this virus that's going to start infecting the world. And the virus is going to change people into monsters and shit like that. So we need warriors to fight against them. So I'm giving you and a couple other people these powers. Um, the two other people, like when they get the powers, one of them goes nuts, ends up in an insane asylum. The other one tries to kill himself. And this guy's the only guy who like survives. I mean, the other one survived, but he's like the only one still capable. Um, and the infection hit. This infection hits and starts turning everybody into monsters. What's crazy about the story, though, and I'm going to spoil the first issue of it, is that this dude's wife, when the virus hit, was 8 months pregnant, and so he wasn't going to bring himself to kill her or anything. He wasn't sure if she even got infected, so he takes her somewhere and hides her out. And then the whole thing flashes forward 10 years, and you find out that his baby is not only has been alive, but has been growing as a monster for 10 years. And so he's been fighting these kaiju. It's bloody, it's gory. He's fighting these kaiju, and then he hears about his baby or his kid, and the kid turns out to because it was never kept in check and because it was never like I don't know, never taken care of. He grew into this insane hybrid kaiju freaking nut job thing that's like 10 times bigger and crazier than all the other kaijus they fought. So he calls the other three dudes or the other two dudes to come help out, to come fight this big dude. Says, he's out of control. We got to kill him. And again, spoiler for the first issue, they all lose. The fucking monster thing kills all three of them, including the dad, including the main guy. And at the end of it, he kind of is like, well, if this power cosmic thing is meant to be a cosmic power for good, then like he like rips it out of his chest and is like, give it to somebody who's good, and then dies. And so it like disappears. So I'm assuming the next issue is going to be like them passing it on to somebody else. But it's just crazy. It was intense. It was nuts. It was very R rated, very over the top. If you like kaiju, if you like, I would say Ultraman. It's funny because it came, I want to say issue one came out the same day as Marvel pulled out a new Ultraman series. But yeah, if you like stuff like that, it's very, very just over the top crazy action. Um, yeah, I loved it. I loved it. To me, it was a surprise hit. It caught me off guard. I had no idea what it was. I just grabbed it on a whim, and I'm so glad I did because it was just nuts. Let's see here.
Did you pick up your Batman Fortnite?
I did, and yeah. So it's very mixed emotions in terms of the Batman Fortnite thing. They just came out. DC just came out with a comic called Batman Fortnite Zero Point. I'm sure your kids have probably told you about it if you haven't heard anything about it. Um, my son didn't know anything about it, but he's only 7 years old, so he didn't know.
No
It's
excuses.
back and forth in terms of the fan reaction. You got one side saying "fuck Fortnite, this is stupid," and you got the other night saying, "Dude, just deal with it." I mean, and I'm on the other side. I'm at the point of like, Fortnite is huge. There's no denying it. It's like a phenomenon. It's blown up. It's everywhere. If you're gonna sit there and bitch about it, then it's not gonna change anything. So I just said screw it and I picked one up. It's surprisingly not bad. I mean, it's kind of a generic story, almost what you would expect. Batman's running around in Gotham, doing his thing, and suddenly this like crack in the sky opens up like a dimensional rift, and he gets pulled into it. He lands in the Fortnite area. He doesn't remember who he is. He doesn't remember what he was doing. Suddenly, a bunch of Fortnite people just start attacking him. So his instincts kicked in. He starts fighting back. Suddenly, too, he sees a Catwoman who's also fighting people, and he's like, I don't have any idea who I am or where I am, but for some reason, I feel like I know her. I feel like I know this woman. And so they start fighting together, and he's like, and now I know we've definitely fought together before. Um, and it's cool. They end up winning. They end up beating the shit out of everybody, and then the very end of it is like the circle is closing in on them, and they just like hug each other, like, "Oh no, what do we do?" And then that's the end of the first issue. Um, so it's only like a 6 issue series. I'm interested to see where it goes. I was pleasantly surprised by it. Like I said, it's kind of a generic story, but I think it's meant more to kind of get kids involved, to get some kids interested in comics, and I think that's really cool. I think the idea of that's cool. I'm sure there are kids who've never read a Batman book who are going to pick this up. Um,
Is he
Also,
actually in the game, like the battle pass
so
too?
so the whole thing is there's 6 issues for the comic. Every issue comes with a code for the game. So the first issue, the code for the game is a Harley Quinn skin. One of them's like a new weapon. One of them's, I don't know what they all are, what each code's gonna do, but I do know that if you get all 6 codes, they give you a 7th code, which is a new Batman outfit to use for the game. Which is why these comics are already stupid price. They're already going up. They're already selling. So if your local shop, if you're hearing this and your local shop still has some, grab them. Um, because I want to say it's $5, $6 for the comic, but dude, they're already going for 30, $40. So because people
Who
are
plays his
nuts over these
voice?
codes. What's up?
Who plays his voice, or does he talk in the game?
Oh, I haven't played as him in the game. Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't really play Fortnite. Every once in a while, I like to jump in for their events. I will say they surprisingly good when it comes to events. Their events are big grand scale. Unlike some other company who gives you a rehash version of the same map over and over.
And I was going to talk about that later too.
So, but Fortnite, dude, legit. And honestly, I I used to be butthurt about Fortnite. I used to be like, man, it's some stupid kids game. It's whatever. Who cares? And my bigger butthurt though was because I'm gonna pull that I got into it before it was cool card. Um, but dude, I watched their shoot. I don't remember who it was. They did a collaboration with somebody. Oh man, I don't remember his name. Can't remember his name. It was a rapper, and they did a collaboration with him.
Chance?
What's that?
Ants.
Was it Chance the Rapper?
No, no, it was somebody else. I can't think of his name right now. I'm totally blanking on his name right now. But dude, it was like they brought in this giant hologram looking version of him. They kicked you out of the map. You're flying through space. Like it was cool. It was really cool. Um but yeah, the comic was surprisingly good. I'm sidetracking a little bit here. Comic was surprisingly good. The story is a bit bland, but it's definitely worth checking out. I think it's going to be cool. I think I'm interested to see where it's going. Um, only other thing I would like to talk or I'm gonna mention is James Tynion. You guys know I'm a big James Tynion fan. He does Batman. He does Something's Killing the Children, Department of Truth. He's got a new DC comic coming for Black Label, which is their like adult DC books. It's called The Nice House on the Lake, and it's meant to be like a horror, which his Something's Killing Children is incredible, and him with horror to me, his Razor Blades comic is also incredible. So him with horror to me is just a 100% in. I'm so in. First issue comes out next month. I have no idea what it's about. I just know that it's James Tynion. And it's called a Nice House on the Lake. Um, so yeah, it comes out in May. First issue comes out in May. Um, Also, though, like I said, I read through Invincible comics. They are fantastic. What else? I actually read something else recently. Oh, dude. Okay, I'm always a DC guy, so I'm mad at myself for not. I don't usually get that into Marvel, but I'm so mad at myself because, dude, I started reading. It's called Immortal Hulk, and holy shit, it's like they take Hulk and make him this like it's like a horror book. Like it's crazy. I can't. I wonder if I can show you guys some pictures of this. Yeah, I wonder if I can show you guys some pictures of this. Let me see if I can share the screen here because I know we still haven't quite figured out putting up video, but I'm still gonna show some pictures in case we ever get it going. So let me boom. All right, can you guys see this? Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, he's this dude here. Hold on, this guy goes to rob a convenience store. It's just like some kid. I mean, he's kind of he doesn't know what he's doing, nervous, all that fun stuff. This girl freaks out, drops a bottle, so he freaks out, shoots her, pops her, and he goes, you," and then pop. He pops who obviously with the green eyes, thinking that's Bruce Banner in the face. Uh, he goes down. Kid freaks out, kills everybody, runs away. Back at the morgue later on, Bruce wakes up. He's all Hulk. Kid goes back to his like biker lair where he's like, "Oh man, I know I owed you money, but I'm trying to rob liquor stores and I don't like it. I don't like killing people. I don't like doing it." And so suddenly though, he's like, "Yeah, well screw you. You owe me money." Suddenly though, you hear this freaking donk, donk, freaking donk, and everybody starts freaking out. And then yeah, right here, Hulk busts his hands through the freaking wall and grabs the dude. Um, this guy's freaking out, running away. He's all hops up in his face, and yeah, dude. The shot of him, in my opinion, is crazy because he looks like fucking like that would scare the living shit out of me.
Hell yeah. It looks like Swamp Thing almost.
Right, right. Well, and that's
Veiny as he is.
right. And I want to say the whole thing. Oh, it's Al Ewing. No, okay. For some reason I thought it was Morrison who did a Swamp Thing, but no, it wasn't. But dude, it's like genuinely, she was 12. That little girl. Does it make you feel good having the gun, have that kind of power? It makes you feel good, doesn't it? He's like, you lose control and all this. Like, it's creepy, dude. Like all these shots, it's creepy. I don't know. I don't know, man. I got hooked right away. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I'm kicking myself for not getting into it sooner. So that's another good one. If you guys haven't checked out Immortal Hulk yet, definitely give it a shot. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and roll it over to Brian because that's all I got for today.
All right. Well, first, so one thing I've noticed lately with YouTube is finding any conspiracy videos is getting harder and harder. In fact, I stopped even using Google. I started using Bing because it actually starts finding the ones that used to be they're still on YouTube, but YouTube does not put them up there with Google. Or if you search for it in YouTube, you won't find it on there either, unless you go through tons and tons of pages. But
Okay. So they're trying to prevent you from doing your job here, Brian.
I'm gonna have to start switching to books, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing that. And they even let's see. Remember how to do this again because I was off the last time. Oh, host has disabled participant screen sharing. Why would you do that?
Oh, because I don't like you guys. Because I don't want you to stream. I don't know. Did that work? I don't know. One participant share at a time. Yeah, I don't know. Give me just a sec here,
Okay.
guys. If you
No,
want to just talk about it, I'll try and get it going for you.
I think I can do it.
No, it says allow participants. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So can you see it?
Google.
So yeah, even there,
Google.
look. YouTube moves to make conspiracy videos harder to find, harder, plot to science, conspiracy theories. So just saying.
No shit.
That,
Yeah.
in my opinion, that proves a lot by them just doing something like that.
Right.
So
Yeah,
today, I'm going to be talking about Planet X or Planet Nibiru, which I don't know. I don't know if you guys know what that is. You guys know what that is?
Planet X. No, I don't. I
That
no
sounds
clue.
cool. Well, it's supposed to be the 10th planet back when Pluto was. This came around when Pluto was still a planet before it got taken away.
They're so back and forth with that. Like I thought
I
they
thought
brought
they
it
came
back,
back.
and
I
yeah,
know.
I don't
And then
know.
and then I looked it up again. Nope, still not. So Planet X is supposed to be a planet. It's about the size of Saturn. Also, I'll be talking about like a second sun in our solar system, and how there's possibly a fake sun from NASA, but it's mostly going to be Planet X. Now, Planet X came about. There was a lady. Her name was Nancy Leader. She claimed she was a contactee and she could contact people from the Zeta Reticula system. Now, she basically said that these people were from Nibiru and they're the Anunnaki, which the Anunnaki were basically humanity's first gods. They were actually our creators in the theories that they genetically engineered us. That's a whole other story. We'll get into that one of these days too. Now, there's also another gentleman. His name was Zachariah Sitchin.
Sorry,
I'll put up a little picture of him real quick. Okay, hold on. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right. I'll just do it this way then. It's always got to be difficult. There's technical goddamn issues. Oops, I didn't mean that. Okay. So this is Zachariah Sitchin, old guy.
Colonel Sanders.
He's not around anymore, but he was a scholar when it came to Mesopotamia. So Sumer, Babylonia, Babylon. He supposedly translated text, clay tablets, cuneiforms, interpreted mythology, and he's the one who really pushed Nibiru to the front with everything that he had going on. He was very wrote a lot of books and got into a lot of people's heads over all this stuff. Now, this is one of the clay tablets he discovered to kind of give him credence with everything, with how good he is and how much history he had done. looking. So this is called the gifting of the plow, basically. Now, one thing you're gonna notice is this guy's sitting down, right? But he's the same height as these guys. So he's the god.
So he's
in
a
this.
giant.
Well, he's at least a god. That his status.
I was referring back to your episode 1, I believe it was, Giants.
Oh, that too, yeah. But the big thing is this right here. Over there, it's like in between, up in the sky, and I'm
It's
going to
like
have
a star with a bunch of planetos.
I'll have a close up of it real quick. Where is it?
China.
Yeah, those are other things. There it is. So
Okay.
this is the sun, and then it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 planets around it. But there's also these little guys over here too. Now they believe the moon was a planet in its own right, but this is supposed to be Planet X, Nibiru. So if that's basically it's shown that, right? But these people, these ancient people were a hell of a lot smarter than what we give them credit for. Is that we didn't discover Pluto until I think it was like 1956 or somewhere around there, 1950s to the 1965s. So they were very, very intelligent people. Even if we try to pretend like they weren't.
They knew about all that.
That's right. Now I'll kind of start showing this. I'm gonna have video too, but here's a picture of a second sun. And so basically there's well anyways, so planet Nibiru, apparently it's in a very strong elliptical orbit, like almost damn near a very, very long oval. It's supposed to pass Earth every 3,600 years.
Okay.
Supposedly the last passing was in 556 BC. So the next passing is going to be around 2900 BCE or ACE, I guess. I don't know. I can't remember what they do anymore. Right. But we're safe. A lot of this has to kind of do with people believing that it has something to do with spiritual shift, a consciousness shift in humanity is when they show up, is when basically it's like every 3,600 years, humanity goes up another level of consciousness, kind of an idea.
Right. Like evolves, essentially.
Right. Now, there are FAA cameras, and they catch a lot of things. Now, this one's going to be a picture of Nibiru. Most of these are in Alaska, but they're everywhere. So here's the sun, and here's Nibiru. Now, the FAA cameras obviously are monitored by NASA. One of these, I've never heard this before. I learned this recently. So NASA can technically be a Hebrew word. And this is what NASA means in Hebrew. Got to read that.
NASA is to be deceived, to deceive, deceived, greatly deceived, beguiled, seize, utterly forget.
So it's kind of like the whole idea is like, criminal masterminds, for some reason, they just can't help but to leave like a little clue about, like to taunt people. And that's almost what people believe NASA is doing, that because there were a lot of Jewish people that founded NASA. There are a lot of Jewish people there. I'm not saying they're a part of it.
Right.
That's one of those things. I never learned that before. So basically NASA is covering it up. Another thing, like we should be able to see this in the sky, but that's where it has the angle of our planet and the lack of chemtrails there compared to chemtrails here is the theory as to why we can't see it, but it can there. And even then they catch it and they'll edit everything out. Right. So I'll get this little thing going. All right. Well, I guess it can't be that big. Uh-oh, did it freeze? Oh, damn it, dude. All right, so I'm going to show you guys this. So if you see this little black thing.
It's a black dot. It's a black dot.
That's right.
So
right on the sun.
Anybody who's just listening and not watching, We got a video of a sunset over a horizon, but it looks like there's a black dot, like right, almost smack in the middle of the sun.
One of these on our off weekends, we're going to have to figure out a way to start getting this on video.
No, that's Matt's thing. Matt's trying to get his computer so that we can start uploading video better.
Okay. Well, anyways, you'll see this coming up. There's going to be, supposedly there's always solar eclipses. Now that's not supposed to be Nibiru. It's supposed to be a type of NASA technology, a craft that is blocking from being able to see it. Now, not just the cameras, but us. It's supposed to keep it from blocking us.
Okay.
I was on the right spot. Now, let me see. I wrote down these 535. So here we go. There's more right there.
Okay. So it's like a giant shield? Is that what you're saying?
This is not the right. Okay, I guess I got the wrong video, damn it. Yeah, this isn't the right one. Let me see if I can't find the right one.
So, but the idea is that they're like just putting up something to block us from seeing it, basically, right?
Well, yeah, that and like chemtrails, yeah, stuff like
Chemtrails,
that.
yeah. I don't know what that means. I'm a dumb when it comes to that.
Yeah, I'm not very big when it comes to chemtrails either, but I do know that supposedly it has to do with zinc and like other sorts of whatever chemicals that they can throw in the sky to like reflect the light back out instead of it coming to us. Okay, this is the right one.
Oh yeah, it's the idea that they add toxic chemicals to the atmosphere, basically yeah, that's crazy.
So here's going to be that black. Now you see this little black beam right here?
I do.
So supposedly that black dot that follows the sun is emitting this black beam, and it's trying to block this from that being able to see. And the person who did this video had to obviously color contrast and all that stuff. But then the thing that came from the right is supposed to be another craft that comes and blocks it out as well. And the bell-shaped object is supposed to be more technology, a satellite, whatever it is, that hovers around, keeping it blocked from us from being able to see it. Now, This one's kind of weird. You'll see this when I was talking about a second sun or a fake sun. Well, watch the sun. It's going to disappear behind this tiny little pole. So the idea is that there's a dark nebula blocking our sun at certain points through the sky. And this is it disappears behind that little light pole as well right there. Now we'll find Nibiru. So you're getting ready to pop up.
Looking at a mountain range here.
Now this is Nibiru coming over the mountain.
Oh, okay.
And if you kind of look hard, I don't know. If you look a little bit harder, you'll see that it's got craters, and it's very it spins incredibly fast because its features change like that.
Okay.
11:45. I messed this up. There's gonna be not you'll get to see Nibiru is gonna pop up, and so will its moon right there. So this is Nibiru's moon. Now, supposedly the Nibiru's moon was there, and Nibiru is too, but they didn't block the moon. They only blocked Nibiru.
Okay.
This is just proof showing that. So
the government is straight up blocking us from seeing these other planets that are here, but they don't want us to know they're there. Why? Right. Why, Brian? Why?
Some people say it's a spiritual thing to, in the Bible. So you can see right here in the center again how fast it's spinning. See how its features change like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's supposed to be deceivers on earth. You know, in the Bible it says there will be signs on earth as well in the skies of the return of Jesus, all that stuff. You know what I mean?
So Jesus is coming back.
No,
You don't want
maybe
us to know.
these are the
Maybe he's already
signs.
here. I'm just kidding. I'm
NASA and
sorry.
the people that, you know, to be the powers to be don't want us to know because they don't want us to turn towards being good and all that other stuff and praying and whatnot. Um, I got one more here, and then I'm gonna be done. We'll get to see the beer right there again. Up there to the left, the sun passes right over it and reflects it right there.
Oh shit! I thought there's some dude. Oh no, is that a post? Oh shit! Yeah, you can see the
It
bottom
could
like
be a post.
reflection too. Like
Yeah. I mean, most of these are in Alaska, so there's not a lot of people out there, but
right.
that's why they say since there's not a lot of people, they don't need chemtrails, and that's how the FAA cameras capture them.
Shit.
So there's a little bit of proof of Planet Nibiru.
Okay. Okay.
It's even though you can see it and it's big, it's still very, very far away. That's the scary thing. And next time we'll talk about the people who supposedly inhabit that planet, the Anunnaki, and we'll talk about what they do, how they created us, and what their plans for us are, and what their plans for us was then. And
One
that's
thing,
it for me.
the one thing I will say is I think it's naive to think that there's not life out there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying that what you're saying is true or not. I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just
No.
saying like we're one galaxy, dude. Who's to say there's not billions of galaxies out there, you know?
I can't remember. There's an equation out there that some guy made to where it was like basically all the stars in the that we can see, and if there was just like one planet that was habitable, there's billions upon billions of chances of intelligent life out there.
Right. That's why I'm like to me that's naive to think that there's not at least some form of life out there. All right,
But
well,
yeah, you can also check out those FAA cameras are free. Just go to Google and type in FAA weather cameras. You can start looking at them your own.
yeah. Except just you might want to do a VPN first so you don't get the government running up your ass.
Mhm.
Well, all right, man. That was cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Matt, what you got for us, bro?
I've got a couple things I'm going to talk about this week. I'm going to try.
All right, and that's
not
all we got
to-
time for today. So
Adios, motherfuckers. No, I'm going to try not to give too many spoilers away from Mortal Kombat because it sounded like Brian was wanting to watch it. So I'm going to try my best to not give too much away.
I'm not going to be just say earmuffs and I'll hit mute real quick.
So the first thing I'm going to talk about though is Fear the Walking Dead. They have 3 or maybe 2. It's either 2 or 3 episodes that they've restarted their season 6. And if you've heard on this before, I love The Walking Dead. But when Carl died, it really affected the show. But I was really against them moving Dwight and gosh darn it, Kenny James.
Too many characters.
The black guy that helps Rick in the very first episode. Morgan. There we go. Dwight and Morgan. I was really against them moving into Fear the Walking Dead. I wanted it to be its own thing. But I feel like the writing and the show itself has gotten a lot better over the past 2 seasons, 2.5 seasons.
I've heard that gradually getting better and better. It seems like.
Is that Fear the Walking Dead or
Fear the Walking Dead? Yes.
Okay.
Now I talked about last episode, the episode before. Here's Negan. I think it was the last episode, which was great.
Me and you talked about a lot about Kirkman last episode.
Yeah, great episode. But Fear the Walking Dead has really kicked up its game in my opinion, and it's up there in my opinion with those season 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of The Walking Dead as far as writing and the actual show itself. But in these 2 episodes, we get a major character death, and that's John. John was one of my favorite characters that they introduced. He's an ex-cop. kind of cowboy.
Oh yeah,
like-
yeah.
And he gets killed by
Spoiler.
Virginia's. Oh, this whole thing's a spoiler. So he gets killed by Virginia's thought to be daughter. But you find out that, or thought to be sister. I'm sorry, thought to be sister. You find out that she's actually her daughter. And Virginia has been the main bad guy for the past like season and a half, I want to say. And so she actually finally dies at the hands of John's wife. And so it's really good. And on the most recent episode that is coming out on tomorrow, but I have early access to it because of having Amazon Plus.
Right.
Right. It's really it's a really good episode. There's not a lot of quote unquote action in it, but you have these three entities, which is you have Dwight and Morgan's camp. You have the towns that Virginia had, and then you have the Dwight's ex Sherry, who has her own group, and it's a story of those three trying to figure out who this bad person is. And it's a really good episode. I can't wait for it to air, even though I've seen it. It deals with another one of my favorite characters, and I'm gonna butcher his name. It's the Hispanic guy. He's the older guy. He's the ex kind of hitman / interrogationist.
Ruben Blades.
Is that
that's his real name?
Guy? Right.
Yeah, that's his real name is Ruben Blades.
Yeah, but he it has to deal with him and him and all the damage that he's had through the years is kindly caught up to him. So it's a very good episode. I definitely recommend, if you are a fan of the original Walking Dead show, that you get back into Fear the Walking Dead, because it's really good. It's overtaken, in my opinion, the original's writing right now. So
that's good to know, because I think the last season I saw was Morgan and the crazy lady on the highway thing, which was real good. It was still good.
In the show is Daniel Salazar.
There you go, Daniel Salazar. Yeah, Salazar. And it in my opinion, it's caught up to, if not, it's better right now, in my opinion, than the original writing and the original storyline. Morgan is expecting a child, and there's that whole dynamic there. I mean, it's good, so definitely jump into it. So the second thing I'm going to talk about is we'll save Mortal Kombat for the end. We're going to talk about the Warzone event. Anybody who's not on Planet fucking X, should know that there was a massive Warzone event that happened this past week. While the event itself was pretty cool, and while the story of it is pretty good, it's just a big letdown, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of Fortnite. I'm a fan of PUBG. I like having different maps. I like being able to cycle through different maps. And so I was really on that boat, even though I knew they were just going to do this because there was a bunch of leaks. I was really hoping that they were going to make a second map. I playing the updated Verdansk 84. I get that people are
Woman to show up.
Well, I get that people are like, oh, it's brighter, oh, there's all these new areas. But a couple of things is like, I think that you're going to start seeing the camo, the ghillie suit guys. They're going to be overpowered. I hate array. I think that's the dumbest thing to stick in the middle of the map.
Like a giant wall for snipers.
Right. Yeah. A giant wall that can literally, we were in downtown, me and Josh, and you could see up there. So like you're talking,
over to salt mines, which used to be quarry area.
Right.
You can see all the way over there.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can see everything. And the other thing that I didn't really like is Josh actually brought it up. There's a couple places that we hit on a regular basis. And of course, those are the areas that they affected. I don't like, I like the upper mountains of Salt Mine. I like that. And they're going to open those up eventually. That's going to be cool. But I don't like Salt Mine. Corey was great. I loved Corey. Yeah. And then, of course, the one building.
So we like to drop into Promenade East.
On the bank.
Spot in Promenade East there's a bank, and there's a little yellow building next to it.
There's
And
usually a buy station there.
And every time we would drop, Matt would go for the bank, and I would hit the yellow building. And now that yellow building is just gone.
Yep.
Nothing else
Well,
there. They didn't put anything there, updated or anything. Just took it out. Just no building there.
Yep. And so
No bank for
like,
you.
I'm not content with them giving us quote unquote something new, because it feels like they changed half the map and the other half they didn't touch, or if they touched it, they just took some stuff away.
Well, the way I said it was that people asked for a new map, and they asked for a new map, and they asked for a new map, and then we get this like 1/5 the size with Rebirth Island map, and everybody's like, well, I mean, that's a new map, but that's like not a new map. Like, and then so they're like, all right, give us a new map, give us a new map, give us a new map. And they're like, oh, we're gonna nuke the map. We're gonna bring zombies in, we're gonna nuke the hell out of it. We're gonna do this huge event.
Cool story. Cool story.
It was cool. It was. The whole thing leading up to it was cool. But yeah, for it to I'm 100% on board with Matt, man. I mean, I normally don't like to complain as much as everybody else does, it seems like, about Call of Duty, because everybody's always like, oh, it's fucking campers, and oh, it's fucking hackers, and oh, it's fucking this and that and this and that. And I'm just kind of like, fuck it, let's just play and have fun. But this actually pissed me off, because I felt very let down with the fact that I wanted just a whole new map. I don't care if we got to keep playing in Verdansk or not. I just wanted a whole new map. I didn't want 2 or 3 different places and then some reskinned buildings, and that's it.
Well, and they've released, it was leaked that Cold War had its own map. And here's the frustrating thing is that, like, I get that they're 2 different engines, but you can't tell me that you couldn't have taken that map overlay and created it with a matching engine to make it a brand new map. I would have. I don't like Cold War. I think that Black Ops, the first couple of games were great, but I don't like Treyarch. I'm not a Treyarch fan, and so I hate the ding 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 ding. I mean, Josh talked about this plenty of times. I just don't like it. The hit markers, but I would have gladly have taken that and either get rid of Verdansk or have it alternate between the two. Like, I just, this game, they were not expecting it to be big. You could tell they weren't, because they had this other battle royale ready with Cold War. And so they were not expecting Warzone to be as big as it's been. And now I'll give them that what is it? Ravencraft. I think there's one,
or something like
Raven
that.
Software stuff.
Yeah.
Now, they have done a lot of balancing updates, like the season 3, all the updates and the weapons and everything. They did really good at that. I really hope that they let them make a new map, for the love of Christ. Like, I love this game. I play it every weekend. We play it every weekend. I would love to play, Battlefield when it comes out. I don't have a next gen system. As Josh said earlier, I'm working on getting a computer, a gaming computer and an editing computer. But I just feel like with the magnitude, the amount of people that play this game, they just don't care, and they should proven that throughout the past year and a half with no anti-cheat software.
Been a year and a half, and they couldn't make a new map. Like, I'm sorry, but it's been a year and a half, and you couldn't make a new map. Like, you can make a new game every year. You can pump out new games every year, but you can't make a new map for Warzone.
Yep. And here's the thing, Warzone, you can Google this. Warzone has made them more money than any other one of their games. That has blown them out of the water.
Yep.
And so you gotta pay to play.
Well,
yeah, even though it's a free game, you technically, more people pay for that shit than
think about all the skins and all that stuff. But I mean, so
bundles and
to me, that was a letdown. And so the last thing that I was going to talk about is Mortal Kombat. So anybody who's not living under a rock, or Brian, who hasn't had a chance to see it, sorry.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm not watching it, but I'm looking at it.
So
Brian.
my biggest take, my favorite thing about this is that they did not go the traditional route.
No.
I have not been a fan of Liu Kang because he just gets over fucking done. Like, I get it. I guess
earmuffs a little bit. Gonna be spoilers in this, right?
But he's in there. I mean, he knows that Liu Kang's in there. And Liu Kang, is in the movie, but the story is not about him. Like,
It's
and
Sub-Zero
I love
and
that.
Scorpion.
Bro,
Yes, and well, it's Bihan and Hanzo. So, and I just and Kung Lao. Here's my thing. Josh knows this. My two favorite characters in Mortal Kombat of all time have always been Raiden and Kung Lao.
Mhm.
And so just to see it, the descendant of the original Kung Lao.
Yep.
But still, I love the fact that they didn't make the story all about Liu fucking Kang, because it's just been and this goes on in an Acclaim, or is it Midway that does
It's Acclaim.
Acclaim.
Both.
This goes to them. I mean, dude, you guys.
Studios.
Well, you guys continue to make it, and that's why Deadly Alliance will always be my favorite game, because they fucking killed Liu Kang, and it's like
Right. Then I think even then they brought him back as zombie Liu Kang.
He's a zombie. Yeah.
But
he's still a zombie.
Well,
Is he
but
still?
there's
I thought
so
he was
many.
like a god now.
No.
So, I mean,
I haven't played 11. I never finished 11.
I haven't
so.
I haven't played 11 yet either.
I played through some of it, but I never finished it.
Raiden is an elder god, and Shinjin has taken his place. But anyway, so the movie is not about Liu Kang, and I love that. There are so many different little tidbits, like you see Nightwolf. There is Shinnok's amulet.
See Shao Kahn for just a minute there. Just like a quick of him, like, or whatever, like of him.
It was Goro.
No, I thought one of them.
Are you
was
talking about
like,
on the bridge where Shang
No,
Tsung
I thought it was
talking?
just like a picture of him. Like I thought you just saw like a picture of him somewhere.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you see a picture of him, and then you see Katana's fan in the temple as well.
See, I didn't see it. I didn't pay that close attention.
Oh, dude, I paid super close attention. Dude. I love that thing. I thought Kano was great. Kano's
always my favorite.
I told Josh this. I said I will have a big problem with this, because in the trailer they made it like he's going to be a good guy. I'm like, please, for the love of God, don't make him good. Like, he is such a good character. He's such a good bad guy.
So we get small spoilies.
And I feel like they did a great job with him.
Dude, they I was blown away by this, dude.
Yeah,
I loved it. I loved
it.
I loved every fucking minute of it.
Yep, and I've watched it now 4 times.
I think my only complaint
the movie
actually is
when did it come out?
Yesterday. Kang. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but I felt like the only actor for it being still being like a Mortal Kombat movie, so you expect it to be a little bit cheesy. I felt like Liu Kang, the actor, was the only one that I was like, man, he's kind of cheesy. He's acting kind of cheesy.
But, well, and
small complaint, dude. Small complaint.
Right. I mean, and here's the thing is like another one of my favorite bad guys, Cabal, you get to see.
Oh yeah.
Melina was done really well. Dude, Josh, so one of my favorite parts is okay, earmuffs, Brian.
I'm hitting mute.
Okay, so one of my favorite parts, and probably my favorite parts in the whole movie, Josh, is when Melina and Sonya is fighting, and she beats her, and she's on top of her, and she's like, "You don't even have a mark. You're not even worth it," and then leaves. I'm like, "Oh, that is so badass, right? Man!"
Right.
And then spoilers again. Obviously, the whole. I love. Me and Josh talked about this too, about how they get their powers. It's not just a random event. Like they're not just.
They have to train in a specific spot in a specific location in Raiden's
temple.
And
it's the birthmark. And here's the thing: is that
that too, yeah.
If you kill, and I love the fact that if you kill somebody with that mark, you get
their place. Yeah, that's why Kano was just some douchebag who killed somebody. Like I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
It was great, and it wasn't just random stuff. It was well thought out. It was well written, and we're not even to the whole Sub-Zero Scorpion thing.
No,
I mean,
I think we're good with Brian. You have to tell Brian to unmute.
Yeah. No? Go ahead, Brian. All right.
All right.
Now we spoil a little bit of the opening, Brian, because I mean. I feel like
the opening 7 minutes. The opening 7 minutes was available on YouTube for this past whole week.
Well, and it's kind of the same as that animated movie that they did recently, which was also surprisingly good. If anybody gets a chance, check that out. Dude, the opening though, with when the whole point is that Sub-Zero comes to kill Scorpion's clan. This is back in feudal Japan days. This is 16,
Well,
17 or something like that.
And I don't know if you caught this, Josh, which you probably did, but I love the fact that they made Sub-Zero Chinese and Scorpion Japanese. So
but
they
it was
couldn't.
badass that like,
Yes.
and again, small spoiler, he's not going to spoil too much, Brian, but he speaks to him in Japanese, even though he speaks Chinese through like the whole thing, but he also is like, fuck it, I can also speak some Japanese. I just don't want to. You're fucking beneath me. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Gotcha.
Sub-Zero is done really well, and I'm
Really
so
well.
glad because I feel what was he in the first movie, right? He was not in the 90s. It was the first one or the second one. I think it was the first one.
I think he was in the first one. Him and Scorpion were still in the first one.
Yeah, and
But
I
they
felt
were
like
background characters.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Mhm.
And anybody who's ever played the games, especially the first one,
Because the
knows how
second
powerful
movie has the
Sub-Zero
second
is.
Sub-Zero, didn't it?
Yeah,
Had
yeah,
the new one
yeah.
or whatever.
His brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I feel like I hope to God that they do more because, and I hope they
Dude.
keep the same people.
Well, it's built. It's clearly built to have sequels.
Yeah.
Clearly. That's
Well,
Like
and
multiple sequels
yeah.
with multiple characters.
looks like it's
and-
clearly built to have sequels.
So how about this, Josh? I read this
Oh,
today.
Okay, Brian,
who's
I'm
gonna?
sorry. No, go ahead. Who's gonna what?
Okay, who's gonna be the perfect fit for Johnny Cage?
Okay,
And-
well, Brian, we're gonna earmuffs again for a second here.
All right, give me thumbs up.
So my one thing that I thought was weird, but it didn't take away from the movie, is that the movie's called Mortal Kombat, and at no point do you see the tournament. There's no
No.
tournament. It's all
Yep.
beforehand. That's why I'm like, it's clearly built to have at least one more movie. At
Oh
least.
yeah. Yeah. Well,
and-
and the ending with the whole Johnny Cage poster, him going to Hollywood to find him.
Yeah.
So I read this article, and I have to say, you know how you made your call for what's his name, 13 to be Damian Wayne?
Yeah, number 5, from Umbrella.
Number
Academy.
5, yeah.
Should be,
I'll
by the
tell
way.
you this, in my opinion, is the perfect fit for Johnny Cage. I don't know if you know him. It's a wrestler. His name's The Miz.
I don't.
Dude, okay, so you got to Google him after this.
Should be Chris Evans. No, I'm kidding.
Well, YouTube The Miz. I mean, he is a shit talker. He looks that pretty boy actor face. Like, it's crazy. Like, I think that he would be a perfect fit. Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. I like the fact that they bring up Kung Lao being a descendant.
Dude.
So there can be other Kung Laos.
Dude,
because
right,
Shang
because they
Tsung
killed him off, dude. Which
Yeah.
but was cool because it for one, it gave effect to Liu Kang, gave him his purpose more, and it really I was like, they have to kill somebody. Shang Tsung has to.
Yeah.
They have to show off his your
soul sucking.
Yeah. So.
And tell me that wasn't an homage to the first movie. Remember where or no, it was first movie where his cousin's screaming Liu.
Yeah.
Liu Kang's fighting Cabal, and you hear Kung Lao, scream like that.
Are we good? I'm gonna let it back.
So,
I feel weird having it muted.
yeah.
Back.
So overall, I definitely think that if
Dude.
you're a Mortal Kombat fan, I think that you would love the movie. I guess I have a Bluetooth headset, so when I'm working at work and had to work late last night, I just was listening to it over and over. So like, I mean, I can envision
there's
it.
things you can nitpick it. There's things
Right.
you can pick apart about it. If you're this like hardcore Mortal Kombat fan, there's of course things.
I'm a hardcore Mortal Kombat fan, and I fucking love it.
I fucking love
it. And here's the
thing.
thing. One of my biggest problems with the first two movies is that they were so whitewashed. And this is not the case here.
Oh yeah,
they're still good, but no blood or anything like that.
No,
whitewash.
White actors playing Asian characters, like
right. How the fuck How the fuck is Shao Kahn?
White dude.
Yeah, and just Raiden.
Oh no,
Raiden.
I was telling Devin that I was like, dude, I think there's only one. I think Sonya Blade's the only fucking white lady in the fucking whole movie. Like,
well, you've got Kano. He's Australian,
right?
And then you have Cabal, who's theoretically was white before that whole thing,
right?
But no, I like the fact that they They didn't whitewash it because I mean, like, that was the biggest problem I had with the first two movies beyond all the other shit, but is having a white rating.
So me and my wife are both big Sub-Zero fans. We always both prefer Sub-Zero over Scorpion. Just always have. And so we were both, I knew that they were going to play out Sub-Zero to be the bad guy because that's how they've kind of been leaning towards it, is like, oh, he killed Scorpion's family, so Scorpion has to come back,
From hell, yeah.
So they to me, I knew they were going to make him a bad guy, and I wasn't happy about it. I was sitting here kind of butthurt about the movie, but I got to be honest, man. By the end of the movie, I'm a Scorpion fan now. I'm a Hanzo fan. Isn't that his
Yep.
name?
Always like Scorpion more.
I like them both. It's just,
and I still
you
like
never
Sub-Zero
got to.
more, but yeah.
Well, and the thing with Sub-Zero is that he has family.
Right.
He's going to have his brother. Eventually, they'll introduce, if they continue with the storylines and everything, they'll eventually introduce Frost and all that stuff. But you got to see a lot of really cool stuff. The fight scenes were great.
I guess were all good, they were good quality, like good quality fighting. It wasn't cheesy fighting. Like, it was well done. It was well choreographed.
Yes,
well done. Well done.
Okay. I have one complaint about the whole movie. One complaint, and that is not enough Goro.
Oh yeah. But they made Goro a fucking beast. He was a fucking beast.
Yes, he was. Here's the problem. So like they had the other characters win the first fight, right? They won the first fight, but then Goro wasn't there.
Right.
So in the second fights, he lost. And I'm like, okay, you're telling me that, the blood of Shao Kahn,
but that's all good.
Right. The blood of Shao Kahn, he's going to lose, but
right.
Melina's going to win, and nothing against Melina. Melina's great. Cabal's going to win. All these people are going to win, but Goro loses.
Right.
Goro, anybody who ever has played Mortal Kombat, especially since the beginning, knows that it wasn't Shang Tsung that was the hardest fight. It was Goro.
Right.
And
oh yeah, it was.
Yep.
And he spawned. I mean, he spawned Motaro, Kintaro, which there's another reference to Motaro in the movie. He's in the drawings on Sonya's wall.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's just there's just so much good stuff in it.
I was extremely pleased with it.
Yeah, I was worried I was going to be disappointed.
Right. We started it a little bit late last night because we were running behind, and we were like, man, I don't know if we're going to stay up for it. It's almost I want to say it's an hour and 50 minutes, like almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
And we were like, man, I don't know if I want to stay up. We turned it on, and dude, immediately we were like,
couldn't stop.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, the opening
seven.
And that's that in my opinion, I'm trying to think, but of the recent movies I've watched, and that includes Justice League, I say that the opening 7 minutes of this, the opening scene is probably the best opening scene I've seen in a long time. Yeah. I mean, it's so good.
Done.
Yeah. Yeah. I give it, I would put it up there as probably one of
to get done here. So
one of the better video game movies made.
Quite possibly one of the best video game movies made. One of. There's Sonic the Hedgehog, but only with the original, not that stupid one they remade. Only with that original with the goofy ass eyes. No, I'm just kidding.
So hopefully we'll be able to get more, as the virus goes away and we're opening more stuff up.
Sequels.
Yeah. Well, and you can tell
it'd be better as like a TV show or just movies.
No, so here's the thing: like if they'll never make it a TV show, although they're in the perfect spot to do it at HBO with the deal that Warner or that it's Lionsgate. Right? It's Lionsgate that did it.
Yeah, it was Lionsgate. But it is, I think, Warner Brothers still too, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many sisters and stuff.
They're in a position to do that. I'd say the only company that could do it right would be an HBO. Because of being able to do it graphically. But like here's the thing: is there's only how much can you do how much can you do?
So, yeah,
How much can you rinse and repeat season after season?
right,
So
right.
like you're gonna have a Mortal Kombat
It's
tournament.
it because of the amount of people that are going to die or have
Yeah.
died and are can continue to die. It's really more of a finite story. Like it would have to be like a limited series, maybe 2 seasons or something.
Yeah.
Well, and
There's so many characters.
well,
Yeah, but
and I
it's
honestly am getting to the
Mortal
point
Kombat,
where like movies and shows I feel like are getting blurred now. Like I didn't mention this and I totally spaced. We can talk more about it next time or something. But Falcon and Winter Soldier wrapped up yesterday too. That was the final episode.
I
And
thought that was supposed to be a
it was
movie for the
six
longest
well, and
time.
that's the thing is it was 6 45-minute episodes, and it really felt like a 3-hour movie, like a 3 or 4-hour movie. Like, it felt like it was just a movie, but it felt like as if you took Zack Snyder's Justice League and split it into 6 parts and just watched it.
Gotcha.
Like, that's what it
Gotcha.
felt like.
Yeah.
Isn't
And that's
that
not bad. That's not bad. It was good. It was, I feel like almost unnecessary, like, in the sense of, like, I don't feel like there was anything. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna catch shit for this. Again, we can talk more about it next time. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like there's a weird like starting to blur between shows and movies thanks to Marvel doing their we're gonna make these as limited series instead of as movies. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
well? What happened to
Well,
WandaVision? Is it doing a second season? Because I
No,
thought I heard it wasn't.
nope. That's what I'm getting at. It's like a limited series because they even petitioned it for the Emmys or whatever it is, and they petitioned it as a limited series. Like, so there's not going to be another season.
Gotcha.
but
That's
with
unfortunate.
but with the virus, the one good thing that's come from the virus is the fact that Warner Brothers and HBO made this deal.
Oh, yeah.
And HBO's man, I'll be interested in seeing the box office numbers because Kong did what 5 million the first
Kong,
weekend.
they
That's
like
the
it like
most
it was like 34 million or something. It like blew it away. People were like, "Holy shit,
dollars
they're setting
in the
records."
theater in the
That's what I'm saying. It
theaters.
was something like
I,
34 million for the opening weekend, not first day.
okay, yeah. So, but and I'll be interested in seeing because like everything that I've seen online and everybody that I've talked to loved the Mortal Kombat movie, and I'm actually half tempted to go to the theater just to give money to it so that they can go,
Right.
okay, we can make another one.
Right.
So and I'll tell you,
Opening
one
day was
last
9.4 million. It was the record
for
opening day during the pandemic. 9.6
Kong, yeah.
million. Yeah, for Kong.
Yeah. So and so that proves that people want to go back out to the movie theaters.
Right.
And I mean, every other day you hear about theaters shutting down, and it's heartbreaking. I that's always been a special place for me.
I'm always back and forth with that. There's part of me that loves watching in the comfort of my own home, but there's part of me that 100%
The experience.
understands. Like, dude, that when I went and saw Endgame in theaters with a full crowd and everybody, the moment Cap sucked in that fucking hammer, everybody just
Yeah. So
screaming.
I'll tell you, my favorite movie theater experience was actually getting to see The Dark Knight on IMAX 2 weeks before anybody else could see it because we got a special screening. I used to work at AMC. And so I'm sitting in the theaters. I'm like, man, they shouldn't do a Joker. They shouldn't do a Joker. And then I'll tell you the weirdest thing that I remember from this is when Batman's on the side of the van and he gets thrown off and he hits that pillar.
Mhm.
And an IMAX, man, it was thud.
Boom.
I mean, it
Yeah.
was loud. And so that's probably the most memorable movie theater experience. And it was only me and a couple people. But seeing Dark Knight, it was at least a week and a half before anybody else did on IMAX, and just seeing Heath Ledger and his portrayal, man, I miss movie theaters.
Yeah.
I do like being able to see it from the comfort of my own home, but
Yeah.
I feel like,
Well,
if you're listening to this, and you want to see more movies and you want better movies made and bigger movies made, you got to go out to the theaters.
And there's different types to me too, because like with HBO, with Warner Brothers, Judah and the Black Messiah, I'd rather watch at home. Kong
Right.
versus Godzilla, I want to watch in the fucking
IMAX.
theater. I want to be
Yeah.
surrounded by loud ass noise, by thumps, by growls, by all that. Yeah.
Same thing. Mortal Kombat. I want to watch it. In
Mortal
theaters,
Kombat, I would
you know?
definitely, I would go see it in the theaters. It was fucking, it was good. It was
Well, it's in the
surprisingly.
theaters too, right?
Yeah.
That's how
So,
theaters.
so the deal with that, just FYI, in case you people who don't know, which again I don't know how you wouldn't know, for the rest of 2021, all movies from HBO can go to the theater and streaming at the same time. Starting next year, though, it'll be normally it's a 90-day window before you can put it onto streaming services. Next year, it'll be a 45-day window, so they cut that time in half. So it'll still be only in theaters, but only for 45 days instead of 90 days.
Cool.
So
yeah, that's kind of all I had, man. You know, Fear
Yeah.
the Walking Dead. You know, if you're a Walking Dead fan, jump back in, catch
I've
up.
heard
It's
Fear
really
has
good.
gotten nothing but better. Not just from you. I've heard it from people that it's gotten better and better throughout the years. Like it's
And you said that's on Amazon Plus, Matt?
So I have AMC Plus.
AMC Plus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
and I have early access because of that. I don't know if there's another way to watch it, but yeah, I get them Thursdays, the Thursday before they air.
Well, when you said
and that's-
Amazon Plus, I was like, what the hell's Amazon Plus? I'll get it right now.
AMC Plus, bro.
Gotcha.
And so, and then, you know, Warzone, you know, it is what it is. And then, you know, obviously go check out Mortal Kombat.
I'm excited to watch it tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I will second the Mortal Kombat. Definitely check it out. Fantastic stuff. So real quick before we wrap up, I just want to do. I always like to do this. I just want to say thank you. Well, not always, but lately I've been doing this.
Hey, wait a minute.
Thank you. What?
Wait a minute. Did you get any emails?
I did not, dude.
Damn it!
Nobody
man.
emailed me about the fucking what is it? Dick cream.
Dick
cream.
Dick wipes.
Dick wipes.
Roman
I'm sorry.
wipes.
Dick wipes. Roman wipes.
Was this last?
Did we do this last time? No, this was last week, and I will stick to this. If we can get 5 emails, just 5 emails, recommending that we do this dick wipe thing, I will do the dick wipe thing.
Hold on.
So
I missed
We
it.
will, we will sponsor.
Okay.
We will try to get this. It's called Roman Wipes, and we will try to get them to sponsor us for at least one episode, depending on how much requests we get. You can,
and Josh will do a commercial for them.
I will do the commercial for them. But you guys got to email me. The email is thecowsintheden.com. thecowsintheden@gmail.com. Sorry, screwed
Is it
that up.
IN?
The
just an N?
cows. THECOWSINTHEDEN. The cows in the den @gmail.com.
What are these dick wipes?
Roman wipes. I don't
You gotta
know.
listen to the last
because
episode,
Matt
buddy.
keeps telling me to freaking Google them, and I don't want to because I'm afraid
So-
my search history is going to
Okay,
start.
so-
Like I'm going to start seeing posts and comments and stuff. Hey,
So-
you need some dick wipes, buddy? You need more?
So
Heard of dude
Okay.
wipes. I've
Okay,
heard of
so-
dude wipes, but not dick wipes.
Okay, so here's the thing. Josh was talking about possible sponsorships where you have to do a commercial for them,
Mhm.
just to get
Yeah.
a little bit
You
of
need to start
funding.
making some
Just to
money.
get a little bit of funding.
I'm
not
paying for this shit out of
money,
pocket,
but-
bro. No,
Yeah,
I'm paying for
to
this shit out of
cover-
pocket, bro.
No,
So-
right, to cover the
Also, if you
expenses
want to
that we
donate,
have.
if you ever want to donate, you can send something. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
So, anyways, but to cover the expenses that we have, not to
Oh
make
my
any actual
God,
money.
Matt.
So there,
No,
did you
but it's
Google it?
Yeah.
So there's
My wife would kill me. She would be so pissed
There's-
off.
there's a company called Roman Wipes. I don't know the name of the
That's why I
company,
refuse to Google it, dude.
but they
Oh, it's not that
but-
bad.
No, but
No, I know.
basically, before you have sex, it's supposed to make it last longer, and you take out this wipe like a fucking
Like
Clorox
an ass
wipe,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
wipe it on your schlong, and you're supposed
got-
to last longer.
It's gonna
It'll
numb.
numb
It's
you a
got
little bit, yeah.
benzocaine, and also it's a proud partner of Major League Baseball.
Of course it is.
So, if you want to hear probably the funniest and most awkward, because Josh does not want to do
I don't
this,
want to do it, but I will.
5 emails. That's all we need. 5 emails.
5
Say
emails.
Roman wipe me.
If it comes down to it, if you want to hit me up, mine's just Josh. I know because it's got my last name on there. I'm not going to say that one.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
no, the cows in the den @gmail.com. 5 emails. And that was what I was trying to bring up though, is I just want to say thank you. Ever since our Restore the Snyderverse episode, we've been getting more and more listeners, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. So to everybody
We should just do
who's listening, Thank you.
We should do a little thing next time where we just find crazy ass products like that and just talk about stupid shit like that for a little while.
We could change it
Hey.
up every now and then. But
Pop
we've
culture,
even,
buddy.
we've
Roman
even
white man.
expanded. We've got a few. It looks like we have a few in Germany and a few in Canada now. So
Alvida Zane.
to those in Alberta who's listening, thank you, and the people in Germany, thank you, and then of course to everybody else.
Hello.
For some reason, Ohio, we're still big, and like our biggest numbers are. I mean, obviously California and Indiana, which is where we're both from, but other than that, our biggest numbers are Ohio, Illinois. I'm worried about Florida because I think that's my dad. So, but that's all right. Hell, Dad, if you're listening, send me an email about those dick
The
wipes.
Roman wipes.
We get those dick wipes going. But no, seriously,
I'm gonna make up 5 email accounts just to
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, but seriously though, we're nobodies. So to the fact that you guys are listening to us means a lot. So I greatly
awesome.
appreciate it. To anybody,
very
and
humbling.
everybody who is listening, I very appreciate it. Thank you.
And hopefully once
shoot me
we
some emails.
once I get my computer up and running, we'll generate YouTube videos and we'll create a YouTube account as well.
And we can just start posting dumbass videos too, man.
Yeah.
Maybe something.
Oh yeah, we'll do gaming
figure something
videos and all
out.
that stuff. So
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
to
Reaction
be
videos.
coming soon. Yeah,
Yes.
and of course what happened, sorry, I'm gonna step off for a second, but I get the money for my computer. It's clearing on, like, let's say Thursday morning. Wednesday night, I have everything in my cart.
The computer sells
And
out.
yep, Thursday morning I can't get it. And it's happened like this. It's happened like
2 or
this,
3
like
times. Yeah.
2 or 3 times.
What's so special
So,
about this computer?
it's okay. So here, okay. I'll try to keep this short. So right now, because of the virus, there is a shortage on processors, gaming cards, and RAM.
Well,
And so
because of data
everything
mining
is
still too.
well, yeah, and so and everybody working from home, everything is skyrocketed in price. So like a desktop that should cost $1,200 is now like $1,800. I'm not
Okay.
willing to pay $1,800 for it. Every time I get this like $1,200 computer that has everything I want, an i7, 16 gigs of RAM, a terabyte and a half in total, 2 hard drives, a kick-ass graphics card. Every time I get it in my cart, and the money's going to clear like next day. By the time it clears, it's gone.
Hey,
So
you know what though? It's Brittany, bitch.
That's right.
yeah, but I will get it. I will get it. I will
Yes,
get
and
our
when we do that,
videos
well,
up and running.
and me and Matt can collaborate more. I'm kind of the only one with a decent PC right now, so I'm kind of running most of this myself, and there's a lot of it I don't know. So I'm, so sorry guys, we don't have video yet. We are working on it, and all of these have been recorded, so we will have video for all the episodes, which will be up soon. We'll get it.
Yeah, and you're gonna be
We'll get it
shocked.
figured out.
You
And
want to
the
know why
bus
you're gonna be
ass shit
shocked?
there.
Because you have to see these ugly mugs.
I'm
But
actually
we
woman.
kind of need to wrap up. We're going a little bit over here. So you guys, again, thank you so much for listening. And thank you guys for joining me. Always a pleasure. 3-way pleasure, Aw.
Thanks everybody.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Later.